Good afternoon. Thank you all for being here today to support all of these students. They are absolutely amazing. I have had a blast working with them the past 2 days, and they are incredibly hard workers, and they're just good human beings. Like that's the most important thing. So yes, they're great musicians, but they're good people. That's what all that matters in life. So again, thank you so much for trusting me and sending them to honor band and all of that stuff. I know for a lot of them, this is probably the longest they've been away from home, and you miss your babies. Okay, so our first march was Manhattan Beach March. It's the British March, a little bit different than American March. It's slower, more reserved. I tell the kids, pinkies up, slip the tea, right? Just gotta play chill. Our next piece is completely different. Oh, I thought I'd get a chuckle there, sorry. It is a take on Dvorak's New World Symphony, but it's called New World Breakdown, and then the subtitle is With Apologies to Dvorak. Dvorak's a classical music composer from Hungary, came to America, taught in New York, and he's actually the reason that American music was legitimized, and so I'm sure he would be very okay with using contemporary American music behind his piece. This involves a backing track, so they're playing just like professional musicians in the studio. So without further ado, the middle school honor band with a New World Breakdown. Thank you. the piece that we just previously played was the Happy Hungarian. Sorry, I just had a brain fart there. That was based on the different, like the Hungarian Rhapsody and all of those classical music pieces that if you grew up like I did, watching the Bugs Bunny and the Tom and Jerry TV shows, that's the music that was on there. That's how I know a lot of that music, and probably how many of you do as well. Our next piece is called Colliding Visions by Mr. Brian Balamages. And this piece, I want to give you a little bit of background information. So, a lot of times a band will grow big enough and have enough resources that they can contact a composer, and in this case, Mr. Balamages is probably one of the most established, and he's a big deal in our band world. So he's at the top tier, and so they contacted him about doing a commission, which is that they had him write a piece of music for their school. And so this was an elementary school band program, the sixth grade band there in Illinois, and so they had grown big enough and were successful enough and had, hundreds of kids in the program there. So it was a really big deal. They had the resources to pay somebody to write a piece of music. And in the weeks leading up to the concert, they learned that the band program was basically being shuttered. They were shutting the band program down. So they, giant band program, hundreds of kids, lots of money and resources, calling a composer that's really popular and famous. Like, y'all kind of get where I'm going here, right? Head nods maybe, yep. And so in the 2 to 3 weeks leading up to the concert, they found out that this would be their last concert ever. And so Mr. Balamages actually was planning on coming for that because he wrote the piece and ended up rewriting the ending to kind of poignantly talk about the music dying in that school. And so Colliding Visions is about two different visions that come together, and you'll hear different melodies that work actually against each other, but at the same time work together because he's a really good composer. But then at the end, you literally hear the last sounds and the death of that music program. So, sorry, it's kind of an emotional subject, right? So again, we hope that you enjoy Colliding Visions. Hopefully you caught the little dig the composer added in at the end. And then everybody that ever plays this piece, which is an incredibly popular piece of music, will see that, know the story, hear that, all the audience as well. Again, these guys are awesome. Please give a round of applause for them. I had the privilege of starting my career in this district. I taught in Lindsay and taught in Shawnee, so all of the directors here, the directors of these guys, it's truly humbling that they asked me to come and do this. These are people that have helped me throughout my career. I still pick up the phone and call Nick Noble all the time and say, hey Nick, what do I do, and everything else. So it's really, really humbling and truly an honor that people that I look up to, that served as my mentors, that served as people and that have helped me along my career and still serve in my career, allowed me to come and do this. So I do want to say a big thank you to the East Central directors for allowing me to come in and do this and for trusting me to teach their students. These guys are amazing. They are incredibly well taught. This is, you know, the 13 years now that I've been involved in this district, this is the best middle school honor band that I've heard. And it has nothing to do with me. It has everything to do with these guys. These kids showed up prepared. They showed up able to play. They are incredibly well taught. Please give their band directors a round of applause. And then I want to say a big, huge thank you. I've been a band chair a couple of times, but those people, like, they cannot get enough recognition for both Sarah Benito, our band chair, and Audrey Johnson, our percussion chair. Would both of them please come out on stage so that people can clap for you and see who you are? They have literally taken care of everything. Like, all I've had to do is stand up on the podium, get a horn out, and teach kids and be goofy and make dumb jokes and spit silly lyrics, right? Yeah. They're gonna be glad that part's over. But again, I showed up with the expectation that I was gonna do 4 pieces with this group, and the hope that I could do 5. And very, very quickly they proved that my expectation should have been to do 5 pieces all along. Again, they're fantastic human beings. I know that I've said that enough, but I cannot say that enough times, and they definitely deserve ice cream after this. They said they would clean your whole house and buy them ice cream. So, students, thank you. I've had an amazing time. I hope that you all have as well. I hope that you've learned things that you can take back to your own programs. Stay in band. This is just the beginning. If you think you're having fun now, it only gets better. There's huge opportunities. Parents, there's huge opportunities for these kids to stay in band. I just brought my band back from London. Like, we just came back from the London New Year's Day parade. In 2 years, these guys would have the opportunity, if they're gonna be a freshman, if they'll finish their freshman year, to go with the Oklahoma Ambassadors of Music, or that's an every other year trip that they can do, basically a 3-week tour of Europe, playing music for all of these crowds in Europe. Parents get to go on that trip too. So all it takes is your band director approval. These kids are an honor band. Obviously, they're going to get band director approval, right? And so that's something that's done through local teachers here in Oklahoma. So again, thank you so much. Our last piece is called Groovy E by Richard Sacedo. Hope you enjoy. Thank you. They got the harder of the last of the 2 pieces, so they're all